Hi everyone, I'm Allison. Thank you for joining me for Where I'm From 194 with Jodi. What have you been reading? I just read this really beautiful graphic biography, Ruth Asawa, An Artist Takes Shape by Sam Nakahira. And Ruth Asawa lived an amazing life as an artist, an advocate, as a parent, as a partner, as a woman who was in the internment camps during World War II, as a Japanese American. I just really found this book, I just really, because it's a really important book because it's talking about issues that are happening right now that happened during World War II. But also it talks about being an artist and being a parent and being a community member. And I thought it was so beautiful to look at, but I also felt like it was the content graphic memoirs and biographies. So this is right up my alley. Jodi, I approved your request. I'll approve it again. We'll see if that works. Oh, here you are. Hello.
Hello,
You
how
did
are
it.
you? Nice to meet you, Allison.
Nice to meet you, Jodi, all the way from Thailand.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you went to a
it
coffee
makes it a
shop?
yes, because the internet, I'm happy that the internet out here is not great
Right.
because I live surrounded by nature and
Yes.
mountains and all that good stuff, but
Yeah.
it does have its inconveniences. And yeah, I was getting paranoid last night, like, what if the internet's bad? What if I get distracted and forget?
Yeah.
But I'm here. I made it.
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
So thank
And
you.
I think we connected because of Annie Finch. Is that how we connected?
No,
That you
Beth Kephart.
Beth
Beth
Kephart.
Kephart.
Okay, okay. Someone wonderful.
Yeah. Because I follow her and I met her from Beth Kempton, another writer. I don't know if
Okay,
you're familiar with Beth
I don't.
Kempton.
Mm-mm,
And
no.
anyway, and so I saw her version with you.
Oh,
And
so
I
good.
was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I have to
Yeah,
do one.
yeah. It was.
It's
I
so cool
felt
how you've
so.
taken this.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's so cool how you've taken this and turned it into like, well, like it is a poem for everyone. And it's
Yeah,
such a poem that's easy for anyone to then take
yeah.
and put a lot of memories and passion and then really feel like, wow, I wrote a poem that's pretty powerful.
I think it is. I'm so grateful for Georgella Lyon for writing the original poem, and then for Fred First who created these prompts and shared them with the internet all of those decades ago. I think he's going to join me for his Where I'm From poem, which I'm very excited
Ah,
about. Because that feels like a really full circle moment.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty. It's a fun thing to empower people to do something that they feel like they can't
right.
do. Hmm.
It's kind of a movement. I feel like it's kind of a movement in a way, a creative movement, you know?
Well, I think the more we can make creativity feel like it's for everyone, because it is, and the more that we do that, the better off the world is, right? Like,
Yes,
because creativity is such an incredible tool for processing our experiences and our emotions and our feelings and our advocacy and all of these things. So, yeah, I'd love to be a
absolutely.
part of that. So,
Yeah, thank you.
um, well, would you like to read your poem?
I would. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. Without further ado, where I'm from. I'm from my mother, homegrown in the womb, incubated on red pop and saltine crackers, arriving small, wrinkly, akin to a baby bird. I'm from Motown, the Motor City, home to Henry Ford, Stroh's beer, the Temps, the Tops, Martha Reeves, the Marvelettes, Aretha demanding respect. I am from Sesame Street, Schoolhouse Rock, 4 o'clock monster movies, memories of Mothra, the twins singing, Gamera, and son of Godzilla. I am from White Flight. We fled, landing us in KKK land, which at that time I didn't understand. I am from a middle-class family, oldest of three, the only girl, fed government cheese and TV dinners, Never confident, always awkward, self-conscious, little Debbie snack cakes in my lunches. I'm from a land of bullies and critics, the harsh reality of junior high school, riding the bus, foosball, roller rinks, disco sessions, flashlight, and rapper's delight, my anthems. I'm from Ann Arbor, thank God for the culture, a city of mochas, lattes, incense-laden tattoo parlors, punks, goths, and used record shops, where diversity saved me from the meth-filled nights of small-town biker life. I am from ink and blood, green soap stencils, and stretching skin, the electric buzz of my iron merging with Sun Ra flowing from the speakers, broadcast from the local public radio channel. I am from a lineage of female skin scribers, student of one who studied under the greats, a teacher to those who followed. I am from a profession, satisfying, lucrative, addictive, but also soul-sucking, so I escaped. I am from animal rescue, sweaty, dirty, devotion, obsession, rewarding, depressing, compassion fatigue, yet never lacking unconditional love. I am from mountains, bamboo huts, fireside chats murmured in melodic tongues, bubbly farts and exhalations of sleeping elephants, the song of the ong in the rainy season, all serenaded me to slumber. I am from failed relationships, people-pleasing, late-in-life motherhood, starting over in my 50s, taking leaps of faith. I am from a long line of shamans, artists, and healers. While searching for myself, I found my creativity, a superpower, something to be proud of. I am from the stars and mycelium, and am one with trees and dirt, every living creature on earth. I am from the ancestors who long before me drew their visions by torchlight, deep in the recesses of caves and caverns. I am from this time, this moment, this era, yet I am timeless, omnipresent, eternal.
Thank you.
Thank you so
That was
much.
such a I mean, we got to just hear it all.
Yeah, kind of.
The whole journey. So do you have some ink we can see?
Oh
So
yeah, I can't, I have it on split screen, and this sounds
oh
kind
right.
of crazy because I've never
Okay.
used split screen. Here's some
Yeah.
travel tattoos. This is
Yeah.
Tahiti, and this is
Oh wow.
Myanmar from a shaman 23 years ago.
Wow.
Um, I just figured out split screen last night because I'm like, how am I going to read the poem and be able and look and see what
You did a good
Allison? And
job.
I
You did a
Googled, and I'm
very
like,
good
hey,
job.
oh, it's so easy. How come I didn't figure this out like 5 years ago? But anyway,
I
um,
don't know if I know how
yeah,
to do that, so that's something I can learn to do. That's
it's
you sounds
really
very
easy.
useful. Yeah.
It's
Isn't it
so
funny
easy.
how things are like that? Like, how do I do?
Yeah,
Oh, this is simple. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. Like as you get older, you just kind of do like just shun any of the easy but seemingly scary aspects of technology.
hmm hmm
And then all of a sudden you go and look it up and you're like, oh, that's it? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know that's the
My
thing
life
that's
is so
so
much
good.
easier.
You can look things up, which is very helpful. I mean, it used to be like if you had a question, you had to ask a person or try to find it like somebody in the phone book to ask, call and ask, or look at an encyclopedia. It was it was so much more challenging
Or
to
just
get,
wonder.
yeah, yes, and definitely wonder, which is a wonderful thing to wonder.
Yes, yes.
I miss that, and sometimes I will hold off on Googling to just kind of let myself think about what my answer might be, and then to
Yes,
see, yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because those spaces are can be magical where you.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, we
So
definitely are in an instant gratification
yeah,
era.
for sure. Um,
Mhm.
so thank you. I mean, it was such a incredible journey. What was it like for you to write it, and how did you decide to tell the whole thing and not just childhood or teenagehood or?
Okay. Well, I think probably you know how sometimes a poem or a
Hmm.
prompt or a sentence or a word is just all that you need. And
Hmm.
it's just like you get a direct line
Yeah.
from the universe and it just flows out so fast and all the right words are in the right spots at the right
Mhm.
moment. And after it's all done, you just feel like so vibrating with the energy of it. And you go, how did I even just write that? It was just like, I mean, I think even as I've read so many of the other people's, it's just so wonderful how that one poem could then just take you
Isn't it?
immediately to all these wonderful snapshots of your journey of life.
Yeah.
That's why I really feel it's such an amazing, beautiful, powerful poem. And I'm so grateful that I ran into you and this whole thing because I mean, you go through periods of time where your writing is like everything is so amazing, and then you get to the ebb, and you're like, oh my God, did I lose my mojo? It's not gonna get anything good again. And then all of a sudden, you have a day like that, and you're just like, wow. And it's
Yeah.
just pure magic, huh? It really is
Mhm.
kind of like
It
it's
is.
just magic,
It
and it's
is.
just so
Mhm.
cool.
It kind of feels like
And
a
so
gift from whatever you believe in.
yes, right.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
just that particular one, the way it was set up, and then it just switched your mind to just like grabbing these moments, and
Mhm.
they're all just so everyday in some ways, or
Yeah.
every day at the moment they're happening. But then when you read
Yeah.
them in the poem, it's like, whoa,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. I
So
love that because it
mm,
always, because that's it's formative. It's the building blocks of our lives are these everyday
yeah,
things, these products, these songs, experiences, and whenever I hear others, I'm reminded of my own, and
yes,
it's helped me feel because I've spent time in therapy, and it's just helped me to feel much more integrated with all these parts of myself and all of the
mm,
experiences, and it's something I'm very grateful for because I'm grateful to her that I'm here
mm,
now,
yeah,
to all those versions of myself. So
mm,
anything that does that feels kind of amazing. That
yes,
there's this thing that can help. So I do feel that, and just yeah, people talking about their childhoods, even though my mom didn't drink red soda, I still makes me think of the red soda and the people who did, and that like I don't know there's a I am forever struck by how connected we all are when people read
yeah.
their poems. And I think people reading them have a similar experience. Like we are all so connected, and that's a wonderful thing,
Mm,
because it's essential, I think, to our survival
yeah,
as a species.
right.
um,
Now more than ever.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I loved it, and it made me think of the Midwest, and obviously because you were in the Midwest, and I spent time there, and my mother's family's from there, and I also I think sometimes with the internet we feel like we're sort of closer, but then we're further apart because of other things. But I do feel like each region they do feel different, you know,
Mhm. Yeah, for
and
sure.
I love that feeling of what an expansive place the United States can be, and all the things it can contain, and people and experiences. So, how long have you been in Thailand?
I've been in Thailand now. I want to say, I think this year is my 22nd year, maybe.
Holy cow!
Yeah, a long
Wow!
time.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I did a
incredible.
kind I did a kind of really ADHD thing, but I didn't know I had ADHD at the time. But as I said in the poem, I was tattooing, I had my own business, I loved it,
Mm-hmm.
I had great clientele, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like controlled by my schedule
Mm-hmm.
and I never had time to do anything spontaneous and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
burned out. And
Yeah.
so instead of just going on a vacation, after going on a vacation, I just decided that's it. I'm selling everything. I'm moving to Thailand. I'm going to shovel elephant poop and live in a bamboo hut. So, and then have a baby.
Oh wow!
So,
So you had your baby there.
Huh?
in
Yes, yes. I
Thailand.
have my son who's
Oh
now
my,
20, will be
oh my
21, just
goodness.
started university.
Oh
Yes,
wow.
coming to Thailand even got me to have a child, which I was not planning on doing. And
Wow.
so,
I think that's
very
a
much
beautiful
seems,
reminder that there's always we can make other choices if we, if we have the privilege and the means. But, like it's an amazing thing that we can make other choices. Because I think sometimes
yeah,
we feel like we're locked into the life that we have chosen up to
right,
this moment, and there are
right.
other lives.
Yes,
If we're
right.
unhappy in this one, we can make other choices.
Yeah. And just not to be afraid to take the risk. I mean, I can't say that everything's worked out perfectly, but
Sure.
when I look back, I wouldn't necessarily change anything because I gained so much through every experience that I had, even the
Mm-hmm.
ones that weren't so great. It was still part of the journey that obviously I was supposed to be on to get to where I am today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I learned the main thing I think I got to is I realized time is worth more than money, maybe.
Yeah. I think for
And
me, the biggest
mhm,
power of money is time. That it buys you
yeah,
time
yeah.
to spend how you
But
would
sometimes,
like.
right. But I found that when I was making a lot of money, I
It
had
was
no
hard
time, which
because
is
it's
why
hard
that's
to,
why
yeah.
and then I was addicted to making that money. So then I kept over scheduling myself to ensure I would still
Mm-hmm.
make that money. But then I had no time and then I became resentful.
I
Now
think
I
it's
don't have
hard.
much money, but I have lots of time.
I think it's hard too when you're freelance, is particularly in a country without a social safety net. I think it just
Yes.
feels like, oh, it could all go away. Everything could be different. I would have nothing, and it plays on those fears that the capitalism of this country and many others, um,
Yeah.
that you feel like there's just so much anxiety just baked into the way life is. And
Yes.
so even if you have money, you think, oh, and you see it with people who are incredibly wealthy, they still worry they don't have enough. And it's like, you have enough. Everyone can see you have enough. But um, I think it's hard to see that for
Mm.
yourself sometimes because we are taught that we're sort of on our own. There's no social
Mm.
safety net. Community isn't valued as much as it should be. I think it's becoming more valued, I hope, because I do think that changes people's lives.
Yeah.
Um, when
Community
you,
is so important.
yeah, when you don't feel like you're alone, that if you do face challenges, people will help. Um, so I think all that rugged American individualism is great for capitalism, but not so great for mental health. So
No, exactly. And that's one of the things over here. The society is more collectivist.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
will say it has become, it's leaning a little more towards
sure,
individualism, I'd say, with the Western influence.
sure,
But, and it really taught me, wow, I get it. I get why, like, family, there can be 3 generations of family living together, because even though, okay, that might not be ideal for everyone, the
yeah,
idea that you have a little compound and everyone has a house, everyone can have their own space, but then be there for the other person if they need it, not
hmm
have to be
hmm
driving an hour or whatever.
yeah,
And just, yes, to have people around so that everybody can have each other's back
yeah,
is is a good thing.
yeah. Yes, it would not have been ideal for me. So I'm definitely somebody who would not have wanted to live. My mom, that's fine, but the rest of them, no. So it
Well,
can be
yes, no,
found
I agree.
family, and that's why I say community, because your community can be your family, but it can also be
Right.
your found family. Like it can be whatever works best for you. But anything else you want to tell me about the poem or your process with it or anything else?
I guess all I really want to say is that also we're so lucky and like people, those of us who are creative, even though everyone is innately creative,
Mhm.
society has like crushed that out of us
Yeah.
because you need to be productive and earn
Yeah.
a living and do something. But thank God for our creativity
Yes.
because, again, just like community, it is another thing that is always there for us that can be used to distract us from darker thoughts or getting into spirals of
Yeah.
anxiety or stress or whatever.
Yeah.
And I cannot be grateful or appreciative enough of writing,
Mm-hmm.
painting, any kind of creative act
Mm-hmm.
to make us feel better and
Mm-hmm.
something that we can do for ourselves.
Yeah.
And you don't even need any fancy equipment, but
Mm-hmm.
just to give yourself the time to do that, to sit and write, to journal, to try a poem prompt, to play with paint, let yourself get lost in it. It's
Mm-hmm.
so incredibly important.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a balm for
Yes,
the soul.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jodi, for going to your local coffee shop and having good internet and calling and joining me all the way from Thailand and sharing your poem and I really appreciate it. This has been lovely.
Oh, thank you to Allison for, starting this whole movement project. And I'm so glad that I ran into it and I was able
I
to
am
do
too.
this with you. And congratulations on your book. I hope
Oh,
that
thanks.
it gets lots of sales. And
I hope lots of
yeah,
siblings
I put
find
that
it.
in front of
That's my
them.
hope. Lynn and I are
Right,
emailing, all kinds of people just to let them know it exists because, where a lot of our marketing team is us. And it's interesting because usually the people who respond are other siblings who have lost it and they
right.
say, wow, I've been waiting for something like this. And
Uh,
people keep thinking I
mm,
should be over it. And I'm grateful that it came together and we were able to share with people because it's nice to feel mirrored in the world, to
yeah,
not feel alone and isolated. So
right. And I'm sorry about losing your brother.
thank
And
you.
I'm
I
glad
am
you're able
too.
to write the book.
Thank you. I am this, it's not a club. It's like so many clubs we're all in. We don't really want to be in them, but the
Right.
people who are in the club make it bearable. And I'm just grateful to have community and other people who know what it feels like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you're helping them too by having written your book.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
And 26 people are in it. So I think also I was talking to somebody recently whose partner has lost a sibling, and I said, I think even if you don't read it, sometimes just knowing it exists makes you feel less alone. Like 26
Yeah.
people, it was worth it for them to write about it. It affected them deeply.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's just, it's, that is, books have helped me so much in my life
Mm.
feel seen and less alone and less shameful, ashamed. And I think that's like the best thing is to feel less
Mm.
ashamed and less alone. So if I can
Right.
help
Yeah,
anyone with
for
that,
sure.
that's totally
Yeah.
worthwhile. So, well, enjoy
Mm.
your day. It's
Thank
morning where
you.
you
You
are.
enjoy your evening.
Yes, I'm gonna wind down now. And thank you again. Bye. It's doing something fun.